For today's video, guys, we're going to be taking a look at the new best controller settings here in Black Ops 6 after the Season 1 Reloaded update. Now, they changed everything in the settings, and I got you the best settings that you need to copy down here. So if you guys are new and find this video help you out in any way, make sure that like button, subscribe the channel with Deadzone, and let's get into it. Now, jumping into our settings here, for the first thing I want to talk about is going to be our horizontal and vertical sensitivity. Now, they changed everything about this, and as you guys see here, there is a completely new value to the sensitivities. It's not like 8, 4, 45, 5. It goes from 0.10, which is the lowest here, and then the highest that you can go here is going to be 400, which I think is like the 2020 sensitivity. Now, we'll put this graph up real quick, just to show you kind of what everything is here. And with me running an A8, and when I want to stick with that, what you're going to want to put this is going to be at 1.90. 1.90. I've been using it since the update has went out, and I have to say, my aim has been good. It's felt the same. So, no worries. 1.90 is by far, in my opinion, the best sensitivity in the entire game after this Season Reloaded update. So make sure to put these at 1.90 for your horizontal and vertical sensitivity. So now we're going to drop down to our controller vibration here next, and we'll go ahead and turn this off. Like I say in my settings videos all the time, small things in this game can make you a better player, a worse player, make you super godlike, and also help you win more gunfights here. Now, vibration. We all know in this game, everything in this game can cause a vibration. So turning this off is not going to make our controller spaz. Now it's going to take time to get used to. I will say that maybe a couple matches, maybe an hour max, but once you get used to this, having it off, it is going to make you a better player 100%. So go ahead and turn this off. Now for my Deadzone inputs, go ahead and copy these down as well. My left stick minimum and maximum input is going to be at 3 and 65. I think 3 is just a good spot for the minimum input because it's going to make your analog sticks very sensitive, but it's not going to cause any stick drift or anything. So you're not going to be moving by yourself looking up or anything like that. If you have a bad, weak controller, maybe so, but if you have a nice controller and take care of them, you're not going to have any troubles. And then for my left stick, maximum input 65. I know it's an odd number, but what this is going to do is going to allow us to just have more freedom with our analog stick. We're not having to, if I do my stick drift test, I don't have to go all the way up to the top of the analog stick anymore to start moving or, start the movement. So having this on 65, and you could really go lower if you wanted to, but I think 60, 65 in this area is going to be perfect for your movement here. And then for my right stick, we have 3, like I said, minimum input. 3 is a very good spot. And then for my aiming stick, the right stick, I have it at 85 now, so I don't have to really go too crazy with my aim. So I don't have to like all the way reach over to the right or the left or anything like that to, aim or anything. So definitely having these at 65, 85 for your max, 3 and 3 for your minimums. And I have my L2 and R2 button dead zones at 0, so I don't have to press all the way down on my triggers, so they're very sensitive. Now over here to my aiming settings here. Next, we're going to talk about our sensitivity multiplier here first. And I actually changed these up a bit as well. I put these down to 75, my 80th sensitivity multiplier. Now with the whole sensitivity thing changing, it is definitely a little bit crazy quicker, I think. So you definitely want to tone these down just a little bit. My last video, or my last few videos really, was at 0.85, so I dropped it down by 0.10 to see how it works. And I have to say the aim is still crispy. We have no problems whatsoever. So go ahead and throw your ADS sensitivity multiplier at 0.75, and your multiplier while focus at 0.75. It is definitely going to help you out a ton. Now we're going to jump into our aiming advanced settings. First thing that we're going to talk about is our ADS sensitivity transition timing. We're going to put this on instant, which I'm sure everyone has having this on instant. As soon as we aim down sights, our ADS sensitivity multiplier is going to change from 1.00 to instantly 0.75. If you have it on gradual, it's going to take a little bit of time, and most of the time with the gunfights being really quick in this game, you're really not going to get that 80's intimidating multiplier to down to 0.75. It's going to stay at 1.00 for most of that gunfight anyways. So make sure to have this on instant. And then we want to change our aim response curve type to linear. I'm not going to go in depth with it. Just know you need to change this to linear. It is the best. If I have to put something in the comments or the description showing pro players starting to use this, I will. So just put this on linear. I'm telling you 100% it is by far the best aim response curve type. And then here for my aiming settings here, for the last thing I want to talk about the target aim assist. Make sure to have this on. If you're not playing with this on, you're probably missing your shots a lot. And, sometimes after updates, they definitely change this on and off, and a lot of these settings are different sometimes. So make sure to come back to your target aim assist after updates or hot fixes and make sure this ain't on and off again. Sometimes it does change on and off sometimes after these updates and everything. So make sure to have this on. It's going to help you out a ton, so just trust me on that. Now we're here in our movement settings. There's not too many things that we need to change. The first thing, most importantly, which I'm sure everyone has sprint assist. We want to make sure to have on tactical sprint assist. And we want our assist going sideways and backwards. We want to have that on. And your delay is going to be at 0.0. I do believe if you're on like keyboard or mouse, or if you're on like PC, if you put this on like 1 or 2, it is better. But on console, we cannot do that, unfortunately. So we just have to keep it at 0. We just don't want any delay. Now we have our mantle assist and crouch assist. We want to have that off. No assist. We want to be able to do everything by ourselves. And corner slice. I mean, this is really up to you. I don't like it. Most people do, some people don't. It's all preference, so it doesn't really matter. This is a setting. It's just up to you, honestly. Corner slicing, on or off, it doesn't matter. Slide and dive behavior. We want to have this on tap to dive, and it really just goes into your play style. Do you slide a lot? Do you dive a lot? It just really depends. You guys know me in my gameplays. I do dive a lot with the skill gap and everything, the omni movement in the game. So I do like to dive. So I just press circle or tap my paddle on my controller, and I dive really easy. I could juke people out. And if I want to slide, all I have to do is just hold down on my paddle or hold circle down, and I slide. So it's really on just how you want to play. I like to tap the dive, it's just really preference. But if you like Omnia moving a lot, definitely go with tap the dive. And then we're going to jump into our final thing here, which is our movement advanced settings. And the only thing I want you to change, the only thing that you need to change here is going to be our tactical sprint activation. We want to have this on single tap sprint. It comes in with the dead zones and everything. Using this, it is going to make it easier for your tactical sprint. So you are going to be sprinting it a bit easier. You're moving fast around the map, constantly tag sprinting, so definitely have it on single tap sprint. Now we're going to jump over here into our graphic settings here. Next. And a lot of people say for my console gameplay, it looks smooth, it looks nice, and I'm going to give you my quality, settings and everything. I don't know if this helps too much, but I also run an Elgato 4K, so I don't know if that's too much as well. But we have our echo mode preset. We have this on efficiency. Again, I don't really know what this does. I've said it in the past, I've said it in videos. I really don't know what this does. I just have this on for my quality sets. I have world motion blur and weapon motion blur off. Depth of feud is going to be off. Fidelity cast is going to be at on, and I have my cast strength on 60, default is 50. I don't want to go too high. I don't want my game looking grainy. But we do want that sharpness, and make it a little bit more smooth and nice looking. So we're going to bump it up to 60 and make it look a little bit more nice. And then for my on-demand texture streaming, I have this on optimize, and I have my cache size on large. I don't know if this does anything. I've heard it does, I've heard it doesn't. So I don't really know. But it does say for optimized download additional high-quality texture. So it just depends if you have good internet. I guess so, which I do. So we have this on optimized. We do have it on large. Download limit is off, so we get the best texture quality at all times. And then going over here to my view settings, we have our field of view 115. Don't go any higher. If you max out at 120, which the human eye is not going to tell between 115 and 120, there's no way you can. Even if you have a magnifying glass's eyes, you're not going to be able to tell. But if you do have it at 120, you do have the risk of a little bit of delay. So we don't want that. My ADS field of view and weapon field of view is going to be affected and wide. A lot of people say in my videos when I talk about like no recoil builds and everything, I have the same build. My gun has a lot of visual flash, it has a lot of recoil, and yours doesn't. This is one of the main things with my weapon being smaller and with my camera not zooming in when I aim down sights, the visual recoil and the recoil don't look that bad. So having these unaffected and wide is going to help out a ton in your graphic settings. And then for our final thing here, we're going to talk about our first-person camera movement. Also, if you play in third person, you can use this as well. We have these at 50%. Now I've seen this on like Aiden settings, Shotzi. People that just move around really quick and everything they talk about this, they know more about this than I do. And all they said, put this down to 50%. So when you're looking around really quickly, the game is just very smooth. It's not choppy or anything like that. And the camera shake isn't that bad. So we definitely want to put this down to 50%. Same with your third-person camera. And also, if you want to inverted flashbang, you can have this on. Or if you can have it off, I mean, it's just something small in the game you can add an M change now for audio settings. Again, like I say in every settings video for my audio, there's not too many things I like to talk about. My master volume is going to be at 50, have my OBS settings and everything. My headset settings are all different, so I just drop down the volume. The game can get loud, I won't lie. But if you want to change some things, gameplay, music volume, the cinematic music volume, I just have all the ways off. I don't like to listen to the music in my games, and my dialogue and effects volume is going to be at 100. If you guys want to copy these down, nothing crazy. A lot of people like to have the enhanced headphone mode on. You have to pay for something. I'm not going to pay for better audio. I'm just not going to, again, I don't really know what this does if you turn it on or off. I just have this off all the times. Don't know what it does. And then the main thing I want to talk about is going to be our audio mix, which I have on a headphone-based boost. I have the Astro A40s. I think these are the best gaming headset, which, I mean, people might say the IEMs are better. You know, different headsets are better. I just feel more comfortable running the Astros. I think they're the best. Having them on headphone-based boost, regardless of what you're running on your ears, your game's going to be louder. Footsteps are going to be louder, so the game is a little bit more clear on what's going on. And then, hit marker noise. A lot of people ask, how do you have the old Black Ops 4 hit marker? Go down to the hit marker preset and put this on classic and you get the Black Ops 4 hit markers. That's, I mean, some of the cleanest hit marker noises in Call of Duty history, in my opinion. And then we're going to go into our interface settings for our final thing, and we're going to skip over here to the gameplay HUD. That's all we need to do. And what we're going to do is go into our HUD preset. I have it on standard. Nothing too crazy. Everyone has their own preference when it comes to, you know, do your layout. I like to play on standard visuals. We want our mini-map shape. It's going to be a square. You see more of a square than you do a circle. So we definitely want to have on square as the mini-map compass type is going to be the horizontal. So it's on top. People can call it a jammer. Counter UAV. If people are still shooting, you're going to be able to know where they are. Like northwest of you, northeast, southwest, 100 degrees of firmware. You, or whatever, just have this on horizontal. Mini-map rotation. We want to have on scale. We're going to change this up to 120. We're going to make the scale of the minimap a little bit bigger so we can see more of the minimap when, you know, UAV goes on or HARP goes on. So I like to have that on. And then everything else, we're just going to keep it default. We do not need to change anything. Now we're going to go back here into our gameplay HUD and again, minimap share. We want to have this on square, on off. And we're going to talk about our full name, our player names. We're going to have this on full name. Sometimes you can see through walls and doors and smoke. Nades, their name just pops up sometimes. I had the problem like that last year in MW3. So make sure you have this on full name. It is definitely a cheat code if you can see through walls and everything. Sometimes people might call you a cheater and everything, but it's in the game. You can look through walls easy sometimes, through a smoke, through objects. I mean, it just happens sometimes. So make that advantage, keep that advantage, and just have it on player full name. And then for the final thing, we have our crosshairs. We want to have this on. This can help with centering. Center dot is going to be on. It's going to show you the center of the screen. Center dot scale is going to be at largest. We want to see the circle in the middle, so we want to enlarge this. The dots this year are very small, so we want it to be as big as possible. We have the crosshair spread on. We definitely want to have that on. The opacity of our crosshairs. We want to have it at 100%. And then some people change it to blue, some people change it to till I just keep it at white. Nothing too crazy. I think you can see it pretty easy. Some people say they can't, some people, they say they don't. But change the color to whatever you like. I just keep it at default. But in my opinion, these are the best settings right now. After the Season 1 Reloaded update here in Black Ops 6, I want you to copy them down. Let me know what you change your sensitivities to. Let me know some things that you change in your settings, and let me know if these settings helped you out. Guys, thanks so much for watching. You guys stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.